BNC, we prioritize telling engaging stories relative to the Black and brown communities that we serve. And our newsroom reflects that. To quote the great Issa Rae, we rooting for everybody Black. That's why when multiple allegations were leveled at Aussie Media, including misleading audience metrics, fraud allegations, and various other claims, many, including me, just shrugged at the fact that, like, oh my goodness, this Black-led media is making headlines for all of the wrong reasons. Former Vox Editor-in-Chief Lauren Williams wrote about how the flaws of the standard advertising and investment model make it difficult to sustain a Black-led media company. She wrote, too many of the people responsible for doling out the dollars that keep the industry afloat would prefer to give money to a company like Aussie, with an Ivy League educated pitchman selling a shiny, controversy-free vision of news and opinion with none of the real world stuff. Ask many Black journalists why they've chosen this frustrating profession, and we'll say that we want to tell the stories that wouldn't get told if we weren't here to tell them. This work requires serious investment. Williams is hoping to change the narrative. She started Capital B, a nonprofit news organization focused on putting engaging stories of the Black community front and center. And I am so happy to have Lauren Williams join me now, CEO and co-founder of Capital B. Welcome to Amplified, and tell us all about Capital B.
Hello, I'm so happy to be here. Thrilled to be here on the show with you, and excited to talk about Capital B. Capital B is a nonprofit, local and national news organization for Black Americans. We're going to open local newsrooms in Black cities across the country that's really focused on providing civic journalism and news and information that Black people need in order to navigate their communities. And those local newsrooms are going to be anchored by a national newsroom that focuses on in-depth investigative enterprise journalism that digs into the big topics like education, criminal justice, politics, health, the environment that affect Black Americans across the country. We want to create a high quality, well-reported, well-resourced news ecosystem for Black Americans.
And news organizations like Black News Channel here and Capital B are crucial to the industry right now for journalists of color who really want to impact the way that stories are told. When you compare the fact that people of color represent nearly 40% of the U.S. population, but less than a quarter of the people that are reporting the news, it just makes me scratch my head. So talk to us about why it's so important to have newsrooms actually be reflective of our communities.
For trust reasons, number one, if you look at some of the surveys of news consumers over the past couple of years, you'll see that Black news consumers in particular place a lot of value on who's giving them their news, the demographics of the newsroom in their town or in their location, and in the fact that they feel that a lot of mainstream news doesn't understand them. They report the news without the appropriate cultural context. They report on crime without a lot of fairness. And this is just deep-seated issues that go back decades and decades and decades. And the result of this is pretty devastating for news and information, for democracy. Misinformation and disinformation is everywhere. And a lot of mainstream news is confused about why they're kind of powerless to fight against this in some communities, but it's because the trust is lost. And diversity is a huge part of that. And you know, I think that a lot of news organizations take it seriously, but not quite as much as they should have, and in many cases far too late.
Now, sometimes I think that when we talk about diversity, people can check a box because they put brown bodies or female-identified bodies in chairs and call that diversity, or, you know, people who maybe English isn't their first language and say, oh, look, check that box, we've got diversity. But it doesn't necessarily change the actual coverage that happens to have different bodies in those seats all of the time. And I wonder if there's any, you know, experience that you have, or just kind of an insider track you could share with us about how newsroom decisions are generally made and how you see that perhaps changing even in the mainstream.
Yeah, yes, no. Checking off the box doesn't do anything, particularly in some really seasoned institutions that have been around. Some of these, we're talking about newspapers, some of them have been around for literally hundreds of years. That just putting a Black woman in, you know, a managing editor position or something, it's going to take more than that to create real meaningful change. But here's where I think some things could be changing. Well, one, places like Capital B and other new organizations, places like the Black News Channel. I think that we're just starting our own stuff again, and I think that that's going to be a wake up call for all of media. And I also think that uh, there is a sea change, I think, in the way that some news organizations are thinking about audience. I think for a very long time, journalists sort of felt that, you know, we were the end all be all of news judgment, right? Like, we decided what goes on the front page based on our, you know, innate genius about what's newsworthy, or we decide, you know, what leads on the 5 o'clock news or whatever. And I think that more and more we need to start listening to the audience. We need to start understanding what the audience is curious about. No, you know, not the audience isn't going to be always right about what the truth is, or you know, which way a story is going to turn. But I think responding more to the needs of the communities we're serving is going to make a real difference.
Well, let's talk about what gets in the way of doing that. Let's talk about the barriers to responsiveness, because at the end of the day, you're trying to sustain or start up and then sustain an ethnic media outlet. It's about money. It's about advertisers, and it's about attracting investors and advertisers. And I wonder if you found any workaround to the beholdenness that so many media entities get into with regards to trying to attract that funding.
Well, we decided to launch as a nonprofit, which is one workaround. I mean, we still need to raise money. We still have to find funding to launch. We have a really ambitious idea. We have to raise millions and millions of dollars. It's raising it in a different kind of way, from philanthropists, from foundations, as opposed to simply from investors who want a return on it. These are foundations and philanthropists who don't necessarily want a return, but they do want to know that they're not, you know, giving their money to something that's going to fail. And, you know, they find value in the news and in the news's role in democracy and in serving underserved communities. And in the same way that with advertisers, you need to put up a firewall. You know, Coke might be advertising on your article. That doesn't mean you're going to write a good story about Coke. Same thing with a philanthropist who's funding you. But it's a different kind of model, and it does eliminate some of the challenges around writing about difficult topics or covering difficult topics, and those topics not being particularly brand safe for advertisers.
Lauren Williams, CEO and co-founder of Capital B, thank you so much for sharing with us and for doing the Lord's work of diversifying the stories that are out there. Appreciate you being with me here on Amplified tonight.